open this video with a declaration. This is one of my all-time favourite Classic Who episodes. Yeah, it's not one of the absolute best, but I find it really charming. And I had seriously considered reviewing Pyramids of Mars for this video, but I ultimately decided that I love Robot just that little bit more. So let's just jump into it. Tom Baker appears, and the Brigadier really isn't that shocked.
You mean he's done it again? He's changed, apparently.
And as we've just seen the Doctor's regeneration, of course, he's gonna be a bit nutty. And then we are introduced to Harry Sullivan, who will only last for about 5 serials, and I just don't like him. Harry Sullivan is an imbecile! I mean, you might as well give him a name badge that says Ian Chesterton 2.0, with extra sideburns included. Long story short, he's the newest companion, he's got a medical degree, so let's just move on with this very thrilling point of view shot of cold-blooded murder. Ooh, I like the sound of this. It looks like someone accidentally used the kaleidoscope feature on the camera. Also, isn't this robot super secret mysterious intruder meant to be taller than humans? How come it appears to be looking straight ahead at this security guard and the security guard is looking straight back? The intruder's arms also remind me of those grabby things you see people picking up rubbish with on the side of the road. And you gotta love how he steals documents labelled as top secret in case it's not obvious enough. We then go back to Unit, where Sarah is harassing the Brigadier again.
Oh, for ages now, I have been dying.
You want me to get you a visitor's pass?
We've got a lot of crap to fit in this episode, Sarah, so shut up. And while they walk that way, the Doctor walks the other way, having escaped from sickbay in a fit of regeneration madness. I will never not laugh at his face when he sees the TARDIS. I think this is one of my favourite scenes in all of Classic Who. The music is perfect and it has great comedic timing and sound effects. It's an amazing introduction to Tom Baker's Doctor and establishes how he's a bit more eccentric than Pertwee.
Of course I'm fit. All systems go. As for the ears, well, I'm not too sure.
And you'll still be criticising the ears by the time you get to Eccleston, mate. Might as well live with it. Now, when I die and get to heaven, this will be the question I ask God. How many takes did they have to do to get the skipping rope scene right? I mean, all you have to do is change the music and this could be the introduction to a cult ritual.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And this is also further proof that the Brigadier is one of the best characters ever.
Well, where is he? Too late.
Can't go.
There's no such word as can't.
Well, you can't go rushing off and leave them in the lurch.
Can't I?
Get wrecked. I mean, you gotta admit, it's impressive he managed to tie up Sullivan within about 30 seconds without him screaming out for help or something.
Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I still wonder if the robot will be walking around while heading to his next crime and then suddenly realise, ooh, I've got grabby hands.
Pinchy, pinchy.
And I can understand why you'd have a guard sitting inside the vault in case someone drilled in from the floor or something. Why not have another guard outside the vault as well? This just doesn't make sense. We then sit through the Doctor cycling through a variety of outfits as he tries to figure out his new personality and hat size. We also get to see more of the Brigadier's amazing snark.
Do you think I might attract attention?
It's just possible.
His dejected look while in the clown costume is perfect. He looks just like a kid who just got told he can't have an ice cream. They also don't make the best detectives as they head to the site of the first robbery and start touching the evidence. Don't get high off that flower dust, Brigadier. Mind you, the Doctor could probably look at the list of ingredients and work out that it's meant for a box of Cocoa Pops. He's that smart.
We shall treat Miss Smith exactly as any other visitor.
And yes, we are definitely not evil or hiding anything whatsoever. This is not a very flattering angle or a comfortable position. I can imagine this incarnation would have to see a chiropractor a few times. Hang on, why is the Doctor driving the unit military vehicle? Shouldn't it be Sullivan? I would have said the Brigadier, but he's obviously too important to do a pathetic job like that. Sarah Jane uses her past to get into this think tank place and does some Scooby-Doo snooping. I do hate her at times like this, where she just barges her way into places and go, ooh, what's in here? And acts like a complete idiot. It's a wonder she doesn't get booted out straight away for barging into a door marked as positively no admittance.
Protected from every side and from above.
That still leaves one direction.
Why didn't you tell them this thing could have done an underminer into the vault before they spent all this time and effort putting up potato sacks around the place? I mean, it's kind of clever how the Doctor slowly but surely guides the Brigadier towards the right answer, but he's definitely trolling him. This version of the Doctor kind of reminds me of that kid in high school who liked to find the most uncomfortable position possible to sit in and who would parkour over tables. We all knew a kid like that, be honest. Ooh, yeah. That's a dead red shirt for sure. Our next introduction is German Doc Brown, who is definitely a bit of a shifty person. The first thing he does right when Sarah leaves is not to hide some top secret documents, but instead grab some food. Sarah also manages to sprint in high heels, which I still like to believe should be classified as a superpower. She finds some robot pee on the floor and then the robot himself, whose head is starting to remind me of a colander.
Who are you?
No wonder this robot has trouble identifying friend from foe when he can see about as well as a fly on drugs. See? Oh yeah, that scream definitely sounds super duper safe. This is seriously the ultra scary robot. He looks like something I made in Year 7 science. I don't blame this chick lecturing Sarah about abusing her privileges. Heroes cannot be made unless they are broken.
I think you must be the sort of girl who gives motor cars pet names.
Lady, every single human in my family has named their car. I have named my car. What does that say about us? Funny how they feel the need to lay out all these tools as if they were doing neurosurgery or something. I suppose technically, since they're poking around the robot's head, they are doing neurosurgery. What would you call robot neurosurgery? Oh man, check out that projector. Now that is some ancient stuff.
I must have more to go on.
More than just my word.
If that was how the legal system worked, every second person would be arrested on murder charges because I think they did it. I didn't see him, but I think they did. The group then go and investigate Mr. Kettlewell, and Kettlewell obviously denies everything. Someone obviously paid attention to Baldrick.
Deny everything, Baldrick.
Are you Private Baldrick?
No!
How pathetic is that death as well? He just drops the fight and goes, well, I give up. Also, is this spinning lava pit supposed to be the new disintegrator gun? Has that been built yet? I'm confused. And the Scientific Reform Society definitely doesn't sound like a cult at all.
It's only logical.
I wonder if this sort of society exists on Vulcan.
Somewhere between the flying saucer people and the flat earthers.
Why does he put his hat on just to answer the phone? And check out that typewriter, man. This episode has definitely dated itself. I also want to know how that paper stuck itself to the TARDIS. Is this some sort of Time Lord technology? What pseudoscience you have to make? So of course, the meeting of Kettlewell turns out to be a trap as a wild robot appears. But it refuses to attack Sarah because she showed him some love. Aww, pathetic. I reckon this fight scene with the robot is probably the most active we've ever seen the Doctor up until this point. Can you imagine Hartnell or Troughton trying to attack the robot like this? It's also weird how when you put a hat on it, it stops temporarily, but then it becomes aggressive like when you shoot Mr. X's hat off in RE2. We then move on to episode 3 and we have to sit through a full recap of the last 5 minutes of episode 2, which is incredibly frustrating to have to sit through and watch again. This is definitely padding. We just saw this! Ugh! And after that boring recap, we have to watch this boring scene where Unit shoots the robot, sees that bullets do jack to it, but they keep shooting anyway. And in the meantime, Sarah and Kettlewell plan to infiltrate the hippie meeting, which is beginning to look more and more like a cult the more I see of it. I gotta admit that this leader is very enthusiastic, but why is she shouting at them when there's a microphone right in front of her? Is she shouting at the microphone? That seems to defeat the purpose of it.
As I've been trying to persuade people to stop spoiling this planet, Doctor.
Of course, this is another Earth hippie story. This is definitely a Third Doctor script. And when the Brigadier comes in with guns a-blazing, the hippies make a run for it, while kidnapping Sarah and Harry and heading for the bunker.
James Bond.
Well, he got the captured part, right? Doesn't that happen at least twice in every Bond movie? And let's make that 2 red shirts for this serial. That is the fakest looking tank I have ever seen. To be fair though, a lot of the props in this serial look cheap. This is the start of the season. Where was the budget? The robot prop is really quite flimsy, let's be honest here. And now the major crisis of the serial finally begins 3/4 of the way through. The hippies have access to codes that they will use to detonate God knows how many nuclear bombs across the planet and start a nuclear apocalypse. But Kettlewell chickens out and has a mental breakdown and ultimately gets killed by his own robot. The Doctor also gets to show off his skill at telling the computer not to blow up the whole world and basks in his own glory while Sarah runs off and gets kidnapped again. Are you serious? The robot has had a complete mental breakdown. And instead of protecting humanity like it was supposed to, it now wants to send it to hell.
Mankind is not worthy to survive.
Well, he's got a point there. We are pretty pathetic creatures. And just like with the grabbing someone's foot on a ladder we discussed in Tomb of the Cybermen, it is compulsory that all scientist labs have bubbling concoctions for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Now, I won't bag the Brigadier for attempting to shoot the robot with the disintegrator gun, but I will bag this. Why does it blow up to supersize? These are also some really, really, really bad effects. And let's just say Sarah is super duper lucky she was nice to a lump of metal. Doctor and Harry run off to Kettlewell's lab and create some weird red bubbling stuff. I assume this is meant to be some sort of thing to destroy metal? Nope, apparently it's a virus for metal. I am just as confused as you are.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Yes, preach! I do feel Harry's reaction is a bit underwhelming.
Oh, I say.
I would have walked into the TARDIS and be like, what the hell is this? Overall, this is a wacky, silly, funny episode. I like it. Next time in the TARDIS, 5-ish incarnations meet up for a drink, awful outfits galore, and a stylish president.